empower and enrich. And our school in Auckland is very diverse. We have students from over 60 different countries, 60 different nationalities. So you can see a little picture there of some of them on the slide. So very quickly, I'm going to present to you a little bit about our learning vision. Why are we learning in this way? What does it look like? And a little bit on the New Zealand government policy on learning design. So as I said initially, our vision is around engaging, empowering and enriching our students. Engage means that they are motivated and happy to be at school. Empower is that they are in charge of their learning, and enriching is about having a really rich curriculum. There's been a lot of discussion tonight about what are the qualities that are needed for our students' future. And very, very much we need to think about the world that they're going to be living in. I was a child of the 1950s. I grew up in a post-colonial environment in New Zealand. And the education system that I had was very much about taking students when they arrived with all their differences and their different passions and different skills and squishing them through a factory model that was all about homogenizing, making us all the same. But what education today really needs to be about is celebrating the differences that students bring with them and strengthening them so that they will be able to do wonderful things when they go into the world and make a difference to the world that they live in. So I just wanted to share with you, we just literally pointed the camera at a teacher and a class of students, and I just thought you might like to hear from one of our teachers. The students are a little bit buttoned up. They're a bit shy that we've gone and put a camera in front of them. So this is Nadia. If the video clip had worked, what she's talking about is the students are actually doing a project on coding that involves coding and a 3D printer, and they are creating a motif that represents the culture of the country that they are from, which is then going to be sent to the 3D printer. I'm sorry it hasn't worked. So we have our passion projects are around, or our learning is very much around the philosophy that Mahatma Gandhi said about learning, and it's around learning by doing. And we encourage our students to follow their interests and their passions and to really engage in those things, and that gives them a lot of power around their learning. So I just want to finish off by sharing what the New Zealand government has done around learning design. And with that, I mean design of property and design of curriculum. And they have actually legislated that any new schools or schools that will be redeveloped must be innovative learning environments, which basically means schools without walls, teachers and students collaborating in wonderful creative spaces like the Vega School is going to be producing. And, you know, as a teacher, and I share this with my colleague Barbara, educators have really advocated for this. And our Minister of Education is very proud that we have this policy and that we have schools that are really fit for purpose, that are child-centred, that enables our students to learn by doing, to follow their passions, and to strengthen what they have so they can be truly engaged citizens of the world, making a difference to the world. Thank you very much.
Indonesia, and this is my Balinese name. And this is my school, Green School, the school from bamboo building, 100% from bamboo building. We are a private school in Bali, and just for information, all private school in Indonesia is run under Yayasan. Yayasan is a non-profit organization, and our Yayasan name is Yayasan Kul Kul, and I'm the president of Yayasan Kul Kul. The school operating back in 2008, only 7 years old, we are still a baby, and currently we have 362 students from all over the world, which are 38 countries. We are global, but by adding the local wisdom, and as you see in the picture that this is the traditional Balinese dancing. This is also learned in our school, and multicultural. On the back you see the Indian ladies and Indian girl. In our school, the electricity is coming from the solar panel, so we use resources, the nature as much as possible. And this is another new project that is micro hydroponics, and we are using the water for the in Bali there is a irrigation system, we call it subak. This is the most important irrigation water in Bali, that the river being used for the electricity. And this is the project base that made by our students, and also one of the parents lead this project. This is aquaponics that the students made the vegetables upstairs, and then below is the fish. This is our building. The architect is very, very rich with the beauty of the architect of the bamboo. And in our school, we purchased the first biobus. We are using the used cook oil for the fuel, and this is, I guess, the first in Bali. And not only common, or not only normal subject or general subjects in our school, but we also, the students is also learning how to plant the rice in our school. Our school is a nature, and we also have the rice paddies. And in the school, we have garden, and then the product we sell in the garden, so the students can also learn how to run the business. We have the cashless system, so in our school that we reduce using the cash, but we have a card for the cashless system. And this is the middle school students that campaign about reducing the plastic using, and we call it buy plastic bag. They just had a TED Talk speech, and they are also campaigning all over the world. And this is the scholarship program that we have in our school. It's not only international students, but also the scholarship program. The local students are also invited to go there to this school. As Bali is very common for the tourism, it's a tourism destination. We also learn about the tourism, and as you see in the picture, that's Madam Pandana is also visit our school and already check our food there. And our food is natural food, is very holy food, that organic food from the organic farm. This is the international exchange, and our school is also visit from a lot of leading minds from all over the world, and also the Ban Ki-moon, the secretary of UN secretary, already visit our school. The leading minds, Jane Goodall, and also we have here Donna Karan, and as well as the David Copperfield is very often visiting our school. This is our school, Green School in Bali. We are located in a jungle, a bamboo school along the river on a small island in Indonesia. It is 7 years old, and yet it has gained global attention. Green School success is Indonesia's success, and showcases there is a great opportunity for this nation to develop its educational offering in the small rural areas as edutourism draw cards. So we would like to invite you all to visit our school in Bali. Thank you very much.
Good evening, I'm Alan Anderson from Ørsted Gymnasium in Copenhagen, and I'll very briefly tell you about my school. We are a high school preparing for further education, so our students are between 16 and 19 years old, and we have 1,140 of them. Denmark is a rich country, and we have in many ways a very good education system. In surveys we can see that our students are happy to go to school, but they don't learn enough according to the PISA surveys. So what we wanted to be sure of when we planned our school in 2005 was that every single student learns as much as he has the ability to do, and that he's prepared for further education and prepared for the future. And then we have a problem in Denmark that not all our students are motivated. Not all of them can see the idea of education. So it was very important for us to make a school that is engaging and motivating for the students. So what we are working on is to have student-oriented and personalized learning. We want to ensure that we give every single student the feedback and the feed forward they need to learn as much as they can and to be seen in school, so that we can tackle if a student don't feel well and has to be helped. And we will organize teaching in a new way. Our school is built with open learning spaces, and more than 50% of our teaching takes place in the open learning spaces. So what we're trying is to have a combination of traditional classroom teaching and teaching in open spaces in order to have more student activity, because we believe that students learn through activity. And then it's important for us to learn by using ICT. Every student has their own laptop or their own iPad. All our teaching materials are digital. And it's important, if you want to activate students and have them do projects, that they can bring their learning resources with them everywhere. And then we think it's very important for the motivation of students that they can see the meaning of learning things. So therefore, real life projects are very important to us, and it's very important that they collaborate with people outside the school. So we are an open school, not only in the meaning that we have open learning spaces, but we are open to the outside world. And then you might ask, if a school with open learning spaces and student-oriented teaching where the students are active, if we don't have a noise problem. We have more than 500 students working in what is much like an open office. But what we can see is that if our teachers are good at organizing challenge-based learning, projects or interesting, interactive teaching, then we have no noise problem, because then the students are active and then they have more reasonable things to do than looking on Facebook on their laptop. So our answer to the motivation problems is to have active students that work on problems they can see the meaning in coming up with solutions to. We also think that it's very important to teach students the competences that will be needed in further education and in the society where they are going to be citizens. So for us, it's very important that they both learn the traditional subjects as good as in every other school, but that they also learn media literacy, that they have digital competences, that they have a global view and perspective, and can be good global citizenship that can create a better world, and that they have innovative competences so that they can not only repeat what others have said, but can be good at finding their own solutions to problems. So that's what we are working on, and I think we are progressing every year, and I think a school with very few classrooms and with lots of technology is a very efficient way to learn. So thank you.
Alan, thank you very much. Thank you to all of our Global Alliance presenters. I know it's been a long evening. If you have not had dinner, please join us for dinner. We thank you very much for coming on behalf of Vega and the Global Alliance. We appreciate your time this evening and hope that you'll stay in touch with us and we can work together